Happy grinding. What's up? What's up? We are back. And guess what? It's grind time. We are enjoying this beautiful weather, Georgia weather. Bringing you a good positive word to help us get our lives together. Uh, we out here, doing what it do, taking a couple of quick trips around the neighborhood, sticking to the script, taking our own advice, our own words, and applying some new things, applying more pressure to our situation. So it's all about the wealth, and wealth doesn't just mean finances. We're talking about increasing your health as well. So that's what we out here doing, getting a few laps in before dinner. We can feel like a winner. Today, coming to you with a message saying, see the invisible, do the impossible. That's the message for today. That's what we came to bring to you. And we got that inspired by a new movie that just came out, Jingle Jangle. And like I told you before, faith come by hearing and seeing as well. So we had a visual in the movie as well, had a good message behind it. But like I say, you can get your message from all sorts of things around you every day if you just pay attention. So while having family time, we got a motivational message. We got a couple of them, matter of fact. So while we did that, the first thought came to mind was, whether you think you can or you can't, you're right. And let me say that again. Whether you think you can or you can't, you're right. And the basis behind that is going to be the best of the best at what we do. We out here reaching for the stars, trying to take ourselves to another level. So whether we think we can reach the stars or not, we right. So it's up to us. We put our own self-limitations, the doubts that we have, we put our limitations on ourselves for us to go as high as we want to go, as far as we want to reach. And today we're here just to shatter those things and take it to a new level, extend our reach. That's why we out here working out. Get that flexibility back so we can stretch, so we can be, take it to a new level, have a new capacity, increase our endurance. And that's not only for the things that we pursue in life, but that's for our body, what we can take on, the stresses of life. So at some point we just need a relief. And what better relief to get than, the beautiful scenery that's around you. The nature out, sun is still poking out. So we're taking advantage of all that time that we got and we putting it to action. Like we said, we bought that action, So we really got to be living that life, for it to make sense, for others to take heed, and for others to be motivated. We got to show them that consistency, that persistence. And that's what we're doing. So, a lot of us creatives, us entrepreneurs, in some situations in our life, we can feel out of place. And, just because we feel out of place, they said, as they said in the movie, imagination, when you got imagination, you always belong. The world is always looking for those creative people, those people with those wide imaginations. Even the Bible speaks of imagination in a plain sense and in a deeper sense. Imagination sparks a lot of things. Creativity sparks a lot of things. As it says, be like children, and children are that representation when they were talking about, heaven. Always being in heaven, being in heaven's presence and different things of that nature. So a lot of us, and even without giving the movie away too much, the main inventor, the creator, he could see the invisible and then make the impossible come to life. So that was his gift at a young age. And he helped spread joy to not only his family, but to himself. You can see it all over him. His actions, the way he moved, the way he danced about, just pure joy, pure love for what he did. So he could write things in the air and they would appear. And he could see it because he had that imagination inside. He believed. And like I said, without giving it away, some things happen, just like it happens to all of us in our lives. Some situations happen, and I guess it was so traumatic that it took his beliefs away. So for a long period of time, he no longer believed. And through that disbelief, that pushed a lot of people away from him. That took away his creativity. That took away all that joy and happiness that always surrounded him and his company and his family. And pretty soon he was all alone, and you could just see it all over him. But that's in his bodily posture, his face, his interaction with people. You could just see it. But the whole premise of the movie was, you know, certain things and certain people divinely coming through at the time when it was needed, and after a long period of time, matter of fact, and bringing him the spark that he needed to bring those things back to life, to bring that belief back to life. And as he did that, you saw all his creations, his greatest works, start coming back. You know, and all it took was for him to believe. And like I said earlier, whether he believed he could or he couldn't, he was right. So it was a time in his life where he didn't believe. And guess what? That was right. So nothing went right, nothing happened, almost to the point of him losing everything, you know, even switching his professions almost. But spark came out of nowhere. And even like we said, imagination came from a child. And, you know, helped him build that belief system back up, you know, and really become the greatest he had ever been, and live up to that name of what people call him, the greatest inventor ever, you know. And the people around him were happy. You started seeing love being spread and all those different things that we talk about in the different videos. So, you know, with that being said, when you got imagination, you always belong. There was a guy in the movie, you know, who took some things from him, but like they said, with imagination, you always belong. So even when the guy who was the biggest and the best of all for a certain period of time, he ran out of ideas. So he needed something great. And as one guy said, once an inventor, always an inventor. So even in our case, once a creator, once an entrepreneur, once a grinder, always a grinder. I don't care if they take everything from us. They can't take our mind. They can't take our grind. They can't take that action that we put behind our words to do what we do. They can't take those thoughts and ideas from us. So we have to understand that and embrace that, you know, as we go about our daily lives, that when we can see the invisible, we can do the impossible. A good friend of mine posted the other day, he said, the impossible takes 7 days. So I want you to just think on that. Sit down and let that marinate, sizzle in your spirit, and see how does that speak to you? The impossible takes 7 days. What does that mean? And on what level does that really touch you, you know? Think about life, think about the things you're going through. The impossible takes 7 days. And in some cases, hey, maybe less. Just depend on you, your belief system, your grind, and what sparked inside of you. So we're using this message today to be a spark. Not only a spark to make you inspired to bring that creativity out, make you unafraid, you know, to make those decisions, to be different, to use that imagination and find the place where you belong, but to become your ultimate self. That's what this whole thing is about. We're healing those wounds where people told us we couldn't be, we shouldn't be, we can't do this. And, you know, we're becoming who we are supposed to be. And as we will see, as those things unfold, life becomes the best of the best. These beautiful days, we're able to take advantage of it in a different way. We ain't in the house just soaking, moping, you know, talking about how bad life is, eating ourselves to death, you know, working ourselves to be gray, till our whole demeanor is just down. We out here getting it. We out here living it. So as we always say, what you gonna do with that next hour? So we taking that hour to get our body right, get ourselves right, get our mind right at the same time. So we multitasking now. We were just sitting still, now we moving. We're getting the action in. So we encourage you to get the action in. All it takes is a little bit of time. Hey, we doing this before we get ready to eat. So if, like we said before, if one person can do it, I mean, you could do it too. You know you could do the same. Even if it's just walking around your block, walking up and down the steps, you know, and giving that time of clarity, releasing some of the pains and stresses of the day, and really getting your mind back focused to get on this grind. So that's what it's all about, man. We reach for the stars. Nothing less. We know we can touch it. We feel like we can touch it. So that's what we finna do. We finna touch it. We finna bring some of that light back down and shed it upon others. So, like I said, we back. It's Happy Grinding. You saw us in the grind time. You saw us in the different colors. So I'm saying we're applying more pressure. We're bringing out different stuff, different materials, and just showing you our creativity. So, with that being said, if you haven't done so already, make sure you hit that subscribe button, man. It really would mean a lot to me, you know. I know some of these messages only resonate with certain people. It may not be meant to reach everybody. So hey, if you don't subscribe, hey, like, share, comment, ask a question. If it sparked up something in your mind that you need to know about to help you move forward, ask a question. Not only will I answer it, but plenty of people in the community will answer. And it really would mean a lot, you know. You never know how you can help people for free these days, just by your word, encouraging word. Some people need that in their life. So I am Mr. Happy Grinding. And like I said, it's grind time, man. So we get into it. We're about to get a few more laps in before we eat. And we hope you stay motivated, stay inspired, stay on your grind. It's time for all of us to shine, baby. Let's get it. Yeah.